These are the top 5 reasons we have moved to Palm Beach, Florida. My name is Ray Fernandez. I'm with Living in Palm Beach, Florida, powered by eXp Realty. Welcome. So if you are thinking about moving to Palm Beach, Florida, if you're wondering what it's like living in Palm Beach, Florida, this video is for you. Each week I talk about what it's like living in Palm Beach, Florida. We explore all kinds of communities around Palm Beach, Florida. This week I want to take a moment to take a step back from showing you all the new construction communities that we have. We have lots of beautiful ones. I want to tell you why exactly my family and I, 18 years ago, decided to relocate this beautiful part of the world we call Palm Beach in South Florida. I'm going to go over my number 1 right now, but I'm going to save explaining it for the last, because you probably know why a lot of people move here. It's the weather. I mean, this is actually a cloudy day for us, and it looks gorgeous, right? The number 1 reason why people move to Palm Beach is the weather. 18 years ago, my family relocated to this beautiful part of the world we call sunny South Florida and Palm Beach, and we haven't looked back. Today, we truly find honor to help people perhaps like you do the exact same thing. If you're thinking about moving to here in sunny South Florida and you want advice from people who have actually done it before, there's a few ways to get a hold of us. Down below is our email address. That's one great way. Also, on the screen, you'll see our phone number. You can either call or text that number. But literally 2 of the best ways is in the description and the comments section. There's a link. Click on that link. What that'll do is that'll set up some time for us to speak, either through a phone call or through a Zoom, whatever way you feel most comfortable. In any case, we have your back when it comes to relocating here to sunny South Florida. So as I mentioned, I'm going to go over the number 1 reason we moved to Florida at the end. But the number 2 reason why people move to Florida is, or Palm Beach, Florida, I should say, is the size. I often get asked the question what it's like here. And one of the attributes of this area is the size. Palm Beach, Florida is 1.5 million people. It is like a big suburb. If you live in a big suburb, I think you'd probably assimilate pretty well to it. We have a big difference between northern Palm Beach and southern Palm Beach. It's actually huge. A lot more people. It's a lot more established in the south than it is in the north. But one of the great things about moving here is that we are close to so many things, and it's one of the reasons we moved here. When my family and I looked all around Florida, we looked at all different areas. Tampa area, we looked at very close to buying a place there. Orlando, Vero Beach, all along the eastern coast here. But we decided on Palm Beach. We originally looked at Boca Raton, and we decided on a place in the middle part of Palm Beach. There are some really popular places where people are living or considering moving to now. But here's the deal. 1.5 million people live in Palm Beach. It's 40 miles north to south. A lot of them still live sort of close to the ocean. So a lot of the population is packed on the ocean. The Miami metro area is like 6 million people, but we're only 1.5 million. We see a lot of people today moving from Miami and Fort Lauderdale and that area down south of us up here because there's more room and there's a lot more. It's less crowded, less congested. Yet we have access to everything that Miami, which is a cultural center of the United States, here just from our backyard here in Palm Beach. Excuse, we got a few things construction, so not everything's not exactly done here. But one of the things I think you can appreciate is if you live in a large metropolitan city, you are not really giving anything up here. There is a lot of stuff to do here, a lot of stuff to like a cultural standpoint. I mentioned Miami. If you're interested in the theater and things like that, Miami has literally everything. It is very crowded down there, but it has everything. We have all the baseball teams, all the baseball team, all the sports teams here. So you sort of feel like you're in a large metropolitan city, but it really has a small town feel at the same time. You really get the best of both worlds when living here and moving to and considering living in Palm Beach, Florida. Now, I might circle back to some of these points, but let me go over the number 3 reason we moved here to Palm Beach, Florida. The number 3 reason we moved to Palm Beach, Florida is the affordability factor. Now, this has changed. I did a video like this a while back, about 3 years or so ago, and it was about 21% less expensive to live here than where I was when we moved. We moved here from Long Island, New York. I've lived all over the New York area, the Bronx. This was where I'm originally from, for those who can't figure out through my accent. I lived in Manhattan. I lived, as I mentioned, Long Island, Westchester County, sort of grew up there. My adopted hometown of Hell's Kitchen, New York. If you compare all those areas to a few years ago, it was 21% less expensive to live here. Today, it's only 15%. And there's a few reasons why that's the case. Price of housing. That's what we do here, right? We help people find homes here. So the price of housing has gone up across the country in the last several years. It has gone up more here in South Florida than anywhere else. People are moving here. People have the opportunity to basically work more remotely. A lot more people have that opportunity today, so they're taking advantage of it. So the prices are moving up here more than other places. And when it comes to affordability, and I'm a former Wall Street trader, and I study finance, ran a trading desk for a long time in the New York City area. One of the points when it comes to the affordability factor, the biggest point is housing. So while housing is gone up around the country, here in Palm Beach in particular, we are literally at all-time highs right now. And that's, while a lot of the other parts of the country have seen declines, we sort of steady, and now we're going back up again. So one of the reasons why people moving, the number 3 reasons why we moved to Palm Beach is the affordability factor. All right, specifically to me, I was able to buy a home for the same money. When I moved from Long Island, Glen Cove, New York. Any Long Islanders here, leave a comment down below. When we sold our house out on Long Island and we bought down here, we sold the house for the same money we bought the house here, but we got twice the house. Now, that factor has changed quite a bit. You might not be as fortunate here in today, but it's still, to a certain degree, it's still practical. So we were able to get twice the house, the same money. So when it comes to moving to Palm Beach, the number 3 reason we chose Palm Beach, Florida is the affordability factor. The number 4 reason why we chose to live in Palm Beach, Florida and move to Palm Beach, Florida is the location. So we are located in such a great area. About an hour or so, depending on traffic, from Miami. Again, a lot to do there, cultural capital of the area. One of the fastest growing cities in the United States, major metropolitan cities here in the United States. Palm Beach, you can get a Disney pass. If you have kids, this is ideal. Even for us, older kids, you can get to Disney in the Orlando area and all those amusement parks, or Universal Studios, SeaWorld, and all that for literally in about 2.5 hours. To our south, one of my very favorite places in the world is Key West. If you time it right, traffic-wise, you can get to Key West in about 4 hours. Is what it takes. All the keys there along the way too. There's a lot of them. Key Largo, Marathon. It's one of the most beautiful places literally in the world. So you have Orlando to the north, the Keys to the south. You have lots of places. There's so many different places. You can take day trips here. We went about a year and a half ago to Bonita Springs on the West Coast. There's Fort Myers there. People live in Naples. That's not so much a tourist attraction, but you are in the middle. If you want a place where you can literally have an enormous amount of day trips or vacations and whatnot, this is one of the best places. So the fourth reason why we chose to move here to Palm Beach is the location. On a side note, when it comes to location, I've mentioned this from time to time. Don't really have a video about it specifically, but schools. It's like one of our top questions is regarding schools and moving here to Palm Beach. Well, location-wise, it's great. The schools, have access to some of the best schools, I feel, in the United States, whether it's University of Florida. You look at it from the top-ranked public universities, it's one of the best in the whole country. Don't know what it's ranked now, but it's probably 1, 2, 3, somewhere's around there, maybe top 5 at the most. Florida State, University of Miami, University of Central Florida. I mean, there's a bunch of them. So if you're looking at, if you're considering schools, this is a great state to live. Also, the schools, reach out to our team if you want to know more about how you navigate this. I have 3 kids myself, so I've done it all. 2 are in, one graduated college, the other one's in University of Florida, and my daughter's in high school. I've seen it all. I know what it's like to navigate it. We were warned, be careful of the schools when you come here. That's BS. I'm telling you, it's not true. We have more opportunity. There's more choice-wise relative to New York. And sorry, New Yorkers, you're wrong about this. We have charter schools, we have magnet schools, we have private schools. Everyone has private schools. So in any event, when it comes to schools, this is literally one of the best locations, in my opinion, definitely compared to the Northeast, when it comes to moving here in Florida and moving here to Palm Beach, Florida. The number 5 reason we chose to move to Palm Beach, Florida is activities. I mean, seriously, there is more stuff to do here than any place else. Water sports, I mean, we're the boating capital of the world. If you like to boat, I mean, you have the ocean right there. You have all these canals. We have a ton of man-made lakes here. So boating, fishing, the fishing capital of the world, you can't beat it than what you get here in Florida. The other aspect of it, number 1 is weather. Well, in regards to activities, it's very important, and I'll tell you exactly why. So in January, it's the weather's so nice here. Look, you guys up north, and listen, I lived up there. I know for decades. I know what it's like. You hibernate up there in the winter months. You can't do anything. We are doing stuff. This pool, as an example, I mean, we had a pool up in New York, and we had to close it, open it, and it was a big expense. You don't have to do that here. These pools stay open all year long in Florida. So we're the swimming capital of the world, I guess we can call it too. You don't have to open and close your pool. If you have a heater, you can heat your pool in January and heat your pool in January and swim in it. You can go swimming on New Year's Day. You cannot do that in New York or Illinois or Wisconsin or Wyoming or Colorado. I can go on and on. There's a ton of sports. So like I play softball. Many of you might know that. I'm able to play softball. I do play softball in January. So, so there's a lot of stuff that you can do here. Water sports, forget about it. You get water skiing. You have surfing. If you go up to Juno Beach, the northern part of the county, there is a ton of surfing. You go there in the morning. You watch them. All kinds of stuff, doing all kinds of stuff. Surfing is very more popular in the northern part of the county than the southern part of the county. If you follow our channel, which you should, hit subscribe, by the way. If you're thinking about moving to this area, you have to subscribe to this channel. Each week we talk about new construction and new developments in this area, and there's a ton. There was a time when there was about 1,000 people moving to Florida a day. We cover all the new construction communities. We are a new home co-broker right there. And we help, we have a strong relationship with all the builders. So if you want to know what it's like in terms of, you tell us what you're looking to do, what your time frame is, we can pair you up with the right community. As I mentioned, the northern part of Palm Beach is right now is the hot part. Palm Beach Gardens is probably the hottest place in Palm Beach right now. Again, you have to speak to a local to really know this. The amount of dollar volume going into there is incredible. So anyways, we help people look at these places, and we help people consider what is the right place, some of the best places here in all South Florida. If this is too quiet for you, I've heard that from people. I get people from I've had one recently from San Francisco that moved out here, that was considering moving out here, felt Boca Raton, which is, I think, pretty active, was too quiet. That happens. We are not New York City. I lived in Manhattan for 10 years. I know what that's like. So anyhow, we help people relocate this beautiful part of the world we call Palm Beach. So if your kids are soccer players, as an example, you can play soccer in the winter. My daughter's a dancer. She's very athletic. She's been dancing since she's 3. and she's now looking at playing volleyball. That's another sport here that you don't get in every place. I'm sure you don't play volleyball all that often in Alaska. Anyways, you can literally have your kids can play sports all year round. It's one of the benefits, and that's my number 4 reason to moving to Palm Beach, Florida. So as I mentioned, our number 1 reason for moving to Palm Beach, Florida is the weather. Couple things. People say, wow, it's so hot in Florida and all that, and it can be. July and August are hot, but here's the deal. It's as hot here as it is anywhere else. I will, if you look at the weather reports and the weather diary, whatever you want to call it, here in Palm Beach, Florida versus New York City versus the suburbs of New York, it's identical in July and August. In fact, I go a step further. You guys get to be 100 degrees up there. We've not had 100-degree weather. I mean, outside the heat index, so you people want to challenge me. Go ahead, reach out below and tell me how wrong I am. It's true, though. From a pure temperature standpoint, we have not been 100 degrees or more since ever. Once, I think, on record. Anyways, the winters here are phenomenal. We will get hot, typical January, February day. High 75, low 50. You wake up, it's got the coolness. We have these things, like they're up there. We have these, screened in places. We make those our room. We just open that up, and we get the nice breeze come through. We do get into the 40s once in a blue moon here in January and February, but the typical January day is about 50 degrees, and then it goes up to about 70 degrees. You can't beat that, which is one of the reasons we're able to do all these activities all year long. Literally, it's one of the best reasons. I saved this is number 1, but I saved it to explain it to the end because it's the most obvious. If you live in Minnesota, if you live in Ohio, if you live in Wyoming, if you lived in Wisconsin, and you guys can hate me all you like, you can't compare the weather. You just can't. There's a lot to do here. In terms of the heat, we have ways of escaping it, like pools and things like that, which we don't close down. Let me refresh your memory on that one. So anyways, our number 1 reason for moving to Palm Beach, Florida is, besides cooking and outdoor grilling, is the weather. So in a nutshell, that is the top 5 reasons my family and I relocate to here in Palm Beach, Florida. If you're thinking about moving to this area, I get calls from you guys every single day. Reach out to our team. Again, we've done it. You see a lot of people on YouTube and other places that they don't know what it's like. I know firsthand everything that's involved when it comes to selling a home up north. I sold 2 homes up north to buy one here. We know what the schools. We have 3 kids that have navigated. So we have answers to many of the questions. And if we don't have an answer to a specific question, we can get it for you. We help people relocate to Palm Beach and to South Florida literally every single day.